On Monday, March 29th, 2021, our community suffered a terrible loss. Jean Yonemura Wing, the phenomenal, incredible wife of our Executive Director Emeritus, Mr. Butch Wing, passed away in the midst of a phone conversation as she was strategizing about the way forward for Kingmakers, a youth mentoring group in the city of Oakland. Jean's contributions to Kingmakers of Oakland, and before that, the African American Male Achievement Project, were amazing. And they were just the tip of the iceberg of her contributions of a stellar career investing in young people and education throughout the Bay Area and abroad. We are grateful for what she has meant to our organization, as well as to Butch, our beloved brother. Her track record of investment and influence have resonated to all of us, and she will be sorely missed.
Jeannie came from a family of Issei pioneers and Nisei freedom fighters. Jeannie herself worked in community for the community, always looking for the common good. Jeannie was one of the founders of the Asian American movement in the late 60s, early 70s. She became a political activist while attending the City College of New York, where she took a deep dive into Asian American studies, graduating with a BA in that field. Jeannie worked to organize Asian American communities to fight for immigrant rights, worker rights, racial equality, and social justice. She spread the word as the editor of the movement newspaper Unity. In order to work collectively for common cause, Jeannie forged strong relationships with the community activists on both the East and West Coasts. She maintained these relationships for more than 50 years in a shared, lifelong commitment to end racism and ensure equal rights and opportunities for Asian Americans. Jeannie was the heart of her family. She and her husband were a couple in the truest sense. To many extended family members, they had one name, Butch and Jean. Butch's work was Jeannie's too. And when Butch decided to support Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr. in his 1984 campaign for president and took on responsibilities as co-chair of the Asian Americans for Jesse Jackson, Jeannie became fully involved as well. Butch served as senior advisor to Reverend Jackson for the subsequent 3 decades, traveling with him to countries in every continent to try to make a better world. Jeannie was vital through virtual presence. As Reverend Jackson frequently observed, Jeannie is our secret weapon.
When Reverend Bryant gave me the news of Jean's passing and the suddenness of it all, I was totally disoriented. There was a sense of shock. Yes, for Butch and the members of the Wing family, but also for all of us. Jean was a mother, wife, educator, friend, proud grandparent, and freedom fighter. The Jackson and the Wing family are one family with 2 different names. Butch is my brother from another mother. With Jean's help, we traveled the world together. We went to South Africa, Nigeria, Gabon, Sierra Leone, Egypt, Japan, Israel, Palestine, Jordan, Paris, Korea, Kenya, and Cuba. She was always the launching pad for these journeys and the landing pad for our return. Together, we tried to make the world a better place. We look back on these moments with pride. When Blacks were attacked, Jean stood with us. When the children of Oakland were underserved and marginalized, Jean displayed non-negotiable dignity. Jean helped dispel stereotypes of Asians. She challenged Charlie Chan movies. She made us cognizant of the Japanese internment. They were beaten. She made us aware of the auto workers who killed Vincent Chen during the wave of an anti-Asian sentiment sweeping the country, not unlike what we are experiencing today. The racist reaction to Toyota, Honda, and Nissan's success created an ugly climate much like today. Our Asian brothers and sisters had a body of pain and experience. So they helped us form and found the Rainbow Push Coalition. Jean and Butch, Mabel Tang, Mike Murazi, Eddie Wong, May Louie, and Cindy Inji. They also made us feel welcome. We met at Portsmouth Square with Asian Americans for the first time in history in 1984. In great numbers politically, they also made us feel very welcome. They have meant so much to me, and I reflect on these days with joy and excitement. Jean was the perfect helpmate for Butch. Terry came from this perfect union, the same coin house of dignity and mutual respect. They were compatible in the struggle to make America deliver its promises. Terry and Jamie are their legacy. Butch, you've lost a lot, but you have a lot left. Terry, your daughter. Paul, your son-in-law. A grandchild, Jamie, from the lineage of both of you. It is difficult to adjust to the suddenness, but her life was a gift. Her life was a statement. She preached her own eulogy every day, and now we celebrate her. Surely as the night cometh, weeping may endure for just a night, but joy, unspeakable joy, comes in the morning. We love you, Jean. Rest in power. We love you, Butch.
Jeannie believed that the purpose of public education is to empower children. Jeannie saw public education as the one and only American institution free and available to all, regardless of citizenship, economic background, race, language, or ethnicity. And so she dedicated her career to taking direct action to transform public schools, to making public school systems ever more equitable for each and every child. Jeannie's work in pursuit of educational equity centered on data. Her approach to data collection, it was brilliant. Jeannie devoted 16 years to education of Oakland students. She initially served as a coordinator for research and best practices for new school development. And for 9 years, until she retired in 2020, Jeannie led the Department of Research, Assessment, and Data as its executive director. She stressed the value of engaging parents in discussions of the data and worked side by side with principals to demonstrate the process and protocols with parents around data. Moreover, Jeannie found time to go beyond Oakland to help other school districts fine-tune their data and plans of work. In 2015 and 2016, the Council of Great City Schools recognized Jeannie's impact on urban communities across the nation by presenting her with an award for excellence in research and leadership.
Butch and Jean, paramedics have been hand in glove. Much of the ideas and the energy for transforming Silicon Valley came around Jean's table. She was our teacher's teacher. She taught children other than her own. When they teach her own children, she cared for other children's children. When Oakland school district was in disarray, she stood like a true champion, loving children other than her own. And so we thank her for that sense of selflessness and character. Character breeds faith, and then faith will not disappoint. So we find joy in her memory. I do want to say to Butch, you are brother beloved. We'll never leave you alone. It means so much. We honor her memory of working on this building. We began in Silicon Valley some years ago. 185 white board members were men, 36 white women, 3 blacks, and 1 Latino. We changed that fundamentally. The board has opened up Facebook and Apple, with Jim Bell, and Facebook with Chuck Renaud, and Amazon. That's our work. And whenever we launched these movements, all came around Gene's table. Well, we traveled the world together, and we've made an impact on the world. Few people can say they really made an impact on the world, they just lived in the world. We thank Jean for her tireless efforts. She had the right combination of character. She had a good mind, physical body, she had character, scientific observation. She saw people as they were, not as she would have them to be. So she had a way of making people feel comfortable. And we have a comfort zone in her. And we thank God for letting her come our way. Love you, Jean. Love you, Butch.
We are so thankful for the life of Jean Yonemura Wing. We are grateful for what she has meant to all of us, the impact that she has had on students everywhere, and the constant advocacy of her life's journey, as well as her standing side by side with our dear friend and brother Butch Wing. We are grateful for all that she has done and all that she is able to be remembered for as we celebrate her life. On behalf of the Wing family, Jean's husband Butch, daughter Terry, their extended family, as well as the Yonemura family, they have asked that in lieu of flowers, donations can be made in Jean's memory to Kingmakers of Oakland, the very voices that were able to hear her in her last moments for her last breaths will continue to live as on wings of love. Her memory will be continuously impacting upon that organization. Your donations will fund a special project in her honor. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the director of Kingmakers, the founder of the African American Male Achievement Program, Mr. Chris Chapman.
Greetings. My name is Chris Chapman, President and CEO of Kingmakers of Oakland. I'm going to keep this Black and brief. Kingmakers of Oakland aspires to change, evolve, and reconstruct educational systems to improve educational and life outcomes for Black students. I'm honored to share a few words with you at the 6th Annual Push Tech Diversity and Inclusion Summit. Serendipitously, it was just 6 years ago this week that I was working with Oakland Unified School District as the Deputy Chief of Equity and founding Executive Director of African American Male Achievement, where we hosted the Honorable Reverend Jesse Jackson at Montera Middle School with over 100 African American middle school kings who came out to listen to Reverend Jackson share powerful stories about his journey as a civil rights leader. One of the many extraordinary contributions the Rainbow Coalition has provided all of us is that there is power in partnership with the people. The Calvary is not coming to save any of us. We are the enchanted people we've been waiting for. In understanding who and whose we are, we can begin to see the humanity in one another. On March 29th, we lost an extraordinary ally, comrade, and freedom fighter. Her name was Jean Yonemura Wing. I first met Jean when my wife, LaShawn, was working with her and Dr. Pedro Noguera on the diversity project at Berkeley High School back in the 1990s. Jean and I would later work very closely together in 2010 when we launched the Office of African American Male Achievement. Jean Wing had a way of expanding our understanding on how to utilize the power of story to drive equity and inclusion. She knew that we had to expand the way we looked at and utilized data. She taught me how to utilize story to set frame, expectation, and build will in service of those things that were greater than each and that were greater than each of us. Last month, we honored Jean at our 10th Spring Symposium by pulling together this brief video that I would like to share with you now.
my mouth I speak to you, with my heart I sing to you, with my soul I'll give to you all of the praise. I say thank you for everything, for all the things you've done, for the battles you fought for me, for the victories won. With my mouth, with my heart, with my soul, I'll give you all the praise. I wanna say thank you, yeah, for all the things you've done, for the battles you fought, for the victories you won. Ooh, I want to say thank you, Lord. I give you praise. Praise to you. I lift my hands to you, Lord.
I work with heroes and sheroes that inspire me, even on my worst days. They inspire me. Please give this sister, and I know she doesn't like to be acknowledged, but I want to acknowledge her because it makes me feel good, all right? But Jean, Wing, and Butch, this is an extraordinary, revolutionary leader. Let's give Jean Wing to go. She leads in ways that inspire me.
I want to say thank you, Lord. I give you praise. Praise to you. I lift my hands to you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. With my mouth I speak to you.
Jean saw public education as the one and only American institution, free and available to all, regardless of a child's citizenship, economic background, race, language, or ethnicity. And so she dedicated her career to advocating for and taking direct action to transform the public schools, to making public school systems ever more equitable for each and every child. Jean's work in pursuit of educational equity centered on data. Jean was also advising and supporting Kingmakers of Oakland to create origin stories for our partner school districts to capture the context, texture, and complexity of how school districts are creating the conditions, systems, structures, and culture that lead to each and every child graduating college, career, and community ready. The Wings, Jean's husband, Butch, her daughter, Terry, and the extended Wing and Yonemura families have asked that in lieu of flowers, donations be made in Jean's memory to Kingmakers of Oakland. Your donations will fund the Jean Wing internship in her honor, providing the opportunity for a young BIPOC student to learn, practice, and continue Jean's approach to data collection, display, and analysis. For more information, please visit our website at kingmakersofoakland.org. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your support. Peace and blessings, Brother Chris. Ashe.